Ethan Bamber, thanks for joining us at the end of day one here at Lords against Notts. Won the toss, 5 down the visitors at the end of the day. What are your thoughts on the day?
I think it would be wrong to say that we, winning the toss and bowling first, you'd love to bowl a team out in the day, no doubt. They played well, but I think, reflecting honestly, we probably weren't quite as tight with the areas as we'd like to be. Toby bowled phenomenally well. Yeah. He won't bowl much better than that, and he's very, very unlucky not to get a wicket. Mertz and Martin too were brilliant. They had to carry me because I wasn't good enough, unfortunately, today.
I know you set yourself high standards, and you obviously said you weren't at those high standards today. You're uncharacteristically a little bit expensive, a few boundary balls bowled. I think as a unit though we bowled particularly well. I mean, the morning they scored freely, but there were plenty of good deliveries out there that could have got better reward on another day.
Absolutely, and the surface, there is assistance there. It's one of those where you've got to be precise with the areas, but if you get it in the right area, there is assistance. I think that's probably why it's frustrating that we didn't maybe string as many good balls together as we'd have liked. With a short boundary, I think, and it's a good wicket, if you miss, you are going to go for a few boundaries and it may be fast scoring, but I think we probably expect better of ourselves on that surface, and certainly myself. Yeah.
Fair. Ethan, we found ourselves in a pretty similar situation down at Hove last week where end of day one hadn't quite got into the visitors, or in that case the hosts, as much as we would have wanted. We went on to win the game. What's the mood in the dressing room after a day like today?
Oh, I think the mood is very, very, very level, very positive. We still believe we're well in this game. We know we can bowl a lot better than that. And I think we feel that if we can do what we know we can tomorrow morning, then we're right in the game. The dressing room doesn't change whether we're on top or underneath. It's a very level place, led from the top. And I think all the boys know exactly what we need to do to try and win this game.
That's good to hear. Does that victory down in Hove, when you hit 370 on the final day from a tough position or two earlier in the game, does that give you the confidence to think you can pretty much pull any game back from a situation you might be in?
I think there's great belief in there that we can win from anywhere. I think there's great belief in one another's ability. There's a huge amount of enjoyment of one another's success, and there's an absolute clarity around what the team wants to achieve and how we want to go about our cricket. Whether the outcome is always as we want, we didn't execute today probably on the whole, but we know exactly what we're trying to do, and that comes from the top down. So yeah, absolutely, it gives a massive amount of confidence and belief.
Good to hear. Without wishing to state the obvious, clearly the job tomorrow morning is to get those wickets and wrap the tail up. What are we looking at as a target for the Oppo to set in the first innings?
We haven't spoken about that. I think we've got to bowl good balls. They're obviously in a strong position, but as I said, if I cannot be useless, and if the guys can continue to be as brilliant as they have been, then I think we're looking to, it'd be great to have them out by lunch, but equally if it takes longer, we've got to make them go as long as they can for as few as possible and be really disciplined.
Having seen you bowl with great discipline yourself for the last couple of years, Ethan, my man is on you, pulling it back tomorrow and being right back on it.
Very kind.
Do hope you are. All the very best of luck. Thanks for joining us, and go well tomorrow morning.
Thank you. Cheers.